Okay, so our lesson for today, class, is integration. Integration. It is integration by parts. So, why do we call it integration by parts? Because we are going to divide it into parts. So when u and v are differentiable functions of x, so have functions uv. So, differentiation of uv is equal to u dv plus v du. Diba? Rules natin yan sa differentiation. So, if we're going to transpose u dv, ililipat natin yung u dv dito and lalagay natin yung uv dito. It become duv minus v du. So, if we are going to integrate both sides of the equation, it would become u dv is equal to integration of duv. So, it would become uv, diba? Minus the integration of integral of minus integral of v du. So, this is the equation that is required for integration by parts. So, the given integral, what is our given integral? Our given integral would be the integral of u dv. And it must be separated into two parts. One part being u and the other part being dv. So, for this reason, it is called integration by parts because we are going to divide it into two parts, one part being u and the other part being dv. So, there are two general rules that can be stated. dv must be really integrable. So, you have to remember this. dv must be readily integrable. And v du must not be more complex than u dv. So, this one should not be more complex than this one. So, kaya tayo nag-integration by parts because the integral of u dv is complicated. So, we cannot answer it using a mere integration formula. So, that's why we are going to use integration by parts. But when you do that and you arrive at the integral of v du that is more complicated than u dv, hindi natin masosolve yung ating equation, diba? So, the second rule is that v du must not be more complex than u dv. So, you have to understand that, class. It must not be more complex. So, let's look for an example. So, let's look for an example. We have integral of x sine x dx. So, integration by parts, we are going to divide this into two parts. So, ano yung first part? So, assume natin that our u is x sine x. And our dv would be what? dx. Para ito ay nasa form siya ng integral of u dv. And integral of u dv is equal to uv minus the integral of v du. So, we are going to look for du. So, what is the differentiation of x sine x? So, the du of this one is complicated. It is sine x plus x cosine x dx. And ang v naman, if dv is dx, simple, it is x. Ano yung two general rules? dv must be readily integrable. So, is dx readily integrable? Yes. So, integration of dx is x. So, that's it. So, we are going to write in integral of x sine x dx is equal to uv. Ano yung u? It is x sine x. And what is our v? It is x. So, since x sine x times x, we're going to make it x squared na lang. Minus the integral of x sine x plus x cosine x dx. Ano yung second rule? Second rule is that integral of v du must not be more complex than integral of u dv. Is this one more complex than this one? Answer is yes. So, this type of integration by parts hindi siya mag-work sa atin. Kaya nga tayo nag-integration by parts para mas madali, para hindi maging complicated. But when we do this one, naging complicated siya. So, hindi pwede. So, we're going to take another example. So, x sine x dx. So, kanina, we make u as x sine x. How about making u as sine x only? And making dv as what? X dx. So, when we integrate du, it would become cosine x dx. And when we, when we differentiate u, it would become cosine x dx. And when we integrate dv, it would become 1/2 x squared. So, sulat natin siya sa form na integration of u dv is equal to uv minus the integral of v du. So, integration of x sine x dx is equal to u sine x times v, 1/2 x squared. So, paano kaya ito? Sine x, so gawin na lang natin 1/2 x squared sine x minus integral of 1/2 x squared cosine x dx. Okay, so ano yung two general rules? dv must be integrable, check. And what? Integral of v du must not be more complex than integral of u dv. So, is the integral of 1/2 x squared cosine x dx more complex than integral of x sine x dx? Yes. So, ano naman ito? This is more complex. Diba? So, iba na naman. So, gagawa na naman tayo ng isa pang way to solve. Okay. So, x sine x dx. So, this time, we're going to make u as dx and dx and dv as what? Sine x dx. So, anong integral ng u ng x? It is dx. I mean, differentiation pala, sorry. Anong integral ng dv na sine x dx? It is negative cosine x. So, going to write it as integral of uv is equal to u dv is equal to what? Negative x cosine x minus v du. Negative cosine x. Ano yung du natin? Dx. So, first rule, dv must be integrable. Okay, good. And second rule, v du must not be more complex than u dv. So, is the integral of cosine x more complex than x sine x? No, it is more simple. So, it would become x cosine x plus, kasi negative times negative, it will become plus. The integral of sine x, cosine x becomes sine x plus c. So, ayun na. So, we have now the answer. So, integral of x sine dx is equal to negative x cosine x plus sine x plus c. Okay, so that is the answer.